The galaxy was calm that day. Ships moved through space like silver birds, markets were open on human colonies, and families were living their normal lives. No one knew that everything was about to change. No one knew that in a few minutes, every screen in the galaxy would turn on by force. No one knew that a single boy would shake the universe. It started with a soft beep, a small sound, almost nothing. But then every device, phones, tablets, wall screens, hologram projectors, switched on at the same time. People looked around, confused. Some thought it was a system update. Some thought it was a mistake. Then the screen turned black. A symbol appeared, a burning silver eagle, the mark of the galactic soldiers. Fear spread like cold wind. Everyone knew what this symbol meant: punishment, control, death. The screen changed again. A boy stood in the center of a metal room. He was maybe 14, thin, dirty. His hands were tied behind his back with glowing chains. His face had bruises, but his eyes were calm. Too calm for someone about to die. Behind him stood 6 galactic soldiers in black armor. Their helmets had red glowing eyes. Their weapons were pointed at the boy's back. A tall commander stepped forward. His voice was cold, sharp, and full of pride. "This broadcast is for all humans," he said. "This boy broke our laws. He tried to resist our rule. And now you will watch what happens to those who resist." Millions of humans across thousands of planets froze. Some gasped, some cried, some covered their children's eyes, but no one could look away. The commander grabbed the boy's hair and lifted his head. "Say your last words." The boy opened his mouth. His voice was soft but steady. "You think you are strong, but you don't know what you have started," he said. The commander laughed. "Started? You are a child. You start nothing." The boy looked straight into the camera, straight into the eyes of every human watching, and he smiled. A small, strange smile. A smile that did not belong to someone afraid. A smile that felt like a warning. The commander pushed him to his knees. The soldiers raised their weapons. The boy closed his eyes, still smiling. The commander shouted, "Let this be a lesson!" A bright flash filled the screen, and the boy fell, dead. The broadcast ended instantly. The screens went black again. Silence spread across the galaxy. A heavy, painful silence. People stood frozen, unable to move. Some screamed, some broke down, some punched walls in anger. But something else happened too. Something no one expected. 8 minutes after the broadcast, the galaxy changed. It began with a strange vibration deep in space, a low hum like a giant machine waking up after a long sleep. Scientists on different planets checked their instruments. They thought it was an error, but the readings were real. Old satellites that had been dead for centuries suddenly turned on. Ancient human beacons, forgotten by history, started flashing. Unknown signals began to travel through space at impossible speed. On a dark, abandoned human world, a massive metal door opened itself. Dust fell from its edges. Inside, something huge began to move. On another planet, buried under mountains, a giant machine lit up with blue fire. Its eyes opened for the first time in thousands of years. Across the galaxy, hidden human weapons, machines built by ancient humans, started waking up. People didn't know this yet, but the galactic soldiers felt it first. Their planets shook, their skies turned red, their scanners detected thousands of unknown objects rising from deep space, objects shaped like ships, but not like any ship ever seen. The Galactic Empire tried to contact their fleets. No answer. They tried to shut down the signals. No effect. They tried to understand what was happening. But they were already too late. The boy's smile, the boy's calm eyes, the boy's last words. "You don't know what you have started." Now they understood. His death was not the end. His death was the key. A key that unlocked something ancient, something powerful, something human. And now those ancient machines were moving toward the planets owned by the galactic soldiers. The countdown had begun. 8 minutes after the boy died, the first enemy planet burned. People across the galaxy saw the explosion from light years away. A bright star appeared where a planet used to be. The Galactic Empire panicked. Their leaders screamed orders. Their soldiers ran. Their systems failed. Humans watched in shock. Some felt fear. Some felt hope. Some whispered, "Is this revenge?" But no one knew the truth yet. No one knew what the boy really was. No one knew why he smiled. No one knew what was coming next. But one thing was clear. The broadcast was not a warning. It was the beginning. The galaxy was still shaking from the first explosion when Commander Ryan received the message. He was sitting alone in his small office on a human colony, staring at the blank screen in front of him. His hands were shaking. His mind was still replaying the boy's final smile. That strange, calm smile. A smile that didn't belong to someone who had lost hope. Ryan had seen many executions in his life, too many. But this one felt different. This one felt wrong. It felt planned. His screen suddenly flickered. A red warning flashed. Class 0 priority, human command only. Ryan froze. Class 0 messages were older than the Galactic Empire itself. They came from systems built by ancient humans, systems no one fully understood. He opened the message. It was only one line. The key has been turned. Ryan's heart dropped. He whispered, "No, it can't be." But deep inside, he knew exactly what it meant. He stood up, grabbed his coat, and ran out of the room. The boy was not ordinary. Ryan rushed through the colony hallways, pushing past confused officers. Everyone was panicking. People were shouting about the explosion. Some said it was a natural disaster. Some said it was a terrorist attack. Some said it was the end of the galaxy. But Ryan knew better. He reached a locked door at the end of the hallway. He placed his hand on the scanner. The door opened with a heavy metallic sound. Inside was a dark room filled with old human technology, machines covered in dust, screens that hadn't been used in years. A single glowing console in the center. He activated it. A hologram appeared, a rotating symbol of a flame. The Last Flame Project. A secret project only a few humans knew about. A project created long before the galactic soldiers took control. A project built for one purpose: to protect humanity if the galaxy ever tried to destroy them. He typed a command. "Show me the boy." A file opened. A picture of the same boy from the broadcast. Younger, smiling, clean, alive. His name was Elior. Age 14. Status classified. Genetic code L-F-01. Designation keyholder. Ryan closed his eyes. He remembered the day he first met Elior. The boy was quiet, but his eyes were sharp. Too sharp. He asked strange questions. He understood machines better than adults. He could solve puzzles no one else could. But the most important thing, he carried a genetic code that could activate ancient human weapons. Weapons so powerful that even the Galactic Empire feared them. Weapons that were supposed to stay asleep forever. Unless the keyholder died. Unjustly. Ryan whispered, "They killed the wrong boy." The Empire begins to panic. Across the galaxy, the galactic soldiers were losing control. Their communication lines were failing. Their scanners were detecting thousands of unknown objects moving through space. Their planets were shaking. Their leaders were shouting orders that no one could follow. On the Empire's capital world, alarms were screaming. A general yelled, "What are these machines? Who built them?" A scientist replied, trembling, "We don't know. They're too old, too advanced.
They don't match any known technology." The general slammed his fist on the table. "Then destroy them." "We tried," the scientist said. "Our weapons do nothing. They move like they know our attacks before we fire." The general stared at the screen showing the burning remains of their first destroyed planet. "Who is controlling them?" The scientist swallowed hard. "We think humans." The room fell silent. Ryan discovers the boy's message. Back on the human colony, Ryan opened another file. A video. Recorded by Elior. Ryan hesitated, then pressed play. The boy appeared on the screen. Younger, healthier, sitting in a small room with a soft light behind him. He looked directly into the camera. "If you are watching this, it means I am dead," Elior said. Ryan felt a cold shiver run down his spine. Elior continued. "I know the galactic soldiers will kill me one day. They fear what I am. They fear what humans can become. But they don't understand the truth." He leaned closer. "I am not the weapon. I am the key." Ryan's breath caught. Elior smiled softly, the same smile he gave before dying. "The last flame is not a machine. It is a promise. A promise made by ancient humans. If their children were ever harmed, the galaxy would burn." The screen flickered. Elior whispered, "I am sorry, Commander Ryan. I know you tried to protect me, but this is bigger than both of us. Bigger than all of us." The video ended. Ryan sat in silence. His hands were shaking again. He whispered, "Elior, what have you done?" The machines move. In deep space, the ancient human machines continued to awaken. Massive ships shaped like blades, drones that moved like living shadows, planet killers that glowed with blue fire. They traveled with perfect coordination, as if following a plan written thousands of years ago. Their target was clear. Every planet owned by the galactic soldiers. One by one, the planets burned. The galaxy watched in horror, but humans watched with something else. Something dangerous. Something powerful. Hope. The final twist. Ryan received another message. This one was not from ancient systems. It was from an unknown source. A single sentence. "The key is not dead." Ryan's eyes widened. "What?" Before he could react, the lights flickered, the console glowed, and a new file appeared. A heartbeat. A living heartbeat. Elior's heartbeat. Ryan whispered, "Impossible!" But the screen didn't lie. The boy who died on live broadcast was still alive. Somewhere. And the machines were not just avenging him. They were coming for him.
The galaxy was no longer calm. It was shaking. Every planet owned by the galactic soldiers felt the same thing at the same time. A deep vibration, like something massive was moving under the fabric of space itself. Their scanners screamed warnings. Their ships malfunctioned. Their leaders shouted orders that no one could follow. But the machines did not care. They were already awake. The first sight of the ancient fleet. In the dark emptiness between stars, a shape appeared. Then another. Then hundreds. They were not normal ships. They were not built by any living human. They were older, far older. Their bodies were shaped like long blades, sharp and silent. Their surfaces were covered in glowing blue lines that pulsed like veins. They moved without sound, without heat, without any sign of life. But they were alive in their own way. They were the last flame fleet. A fleet built by ancient humans who believed one thing: if our children are harmed, the galaxy will burn. And now their children had been harmed. The Empire tries to fight back. On the bridge of a galactic soldier battleship, alarms were screaming. "Unknown fleet approaching! Thousands of ships! We cannot identify their technology! Our weapons are not locking on!"
The captain, a tall alien with silver skin, shouted, "Fire everything!" The battleship launched a storm of missiles and energy beams. The space around them lit up with explosions. But the ancient human ships did not move. They did not dodge. They did not defend. The weapons simply passed through them, as if the ships were made of smoke. The captain stared in horror. What are they?" A voice from the scanner team whispered, "Sir, they are not using shields. They are using something else, something we don't understand." The captain swallowed hard. "Retreat." But it was too late. The blade-shaped ships suddenly changed direction, all at once, like a single mind controlling them. They moved with impossible speed, slicing through the battleship fleet. One touch from their glowing edges and entire ships split apart like paper. The galactic soldiers had never seen anything like it. They were not fighting machines. They were fighting ghosts of ancient humanity. Rion watches the galaxy burn. Back on the human colony, Commander Rion stood in the control room, watching the live feed from deep space. The screens showed burning planets, collapsing fleets, and the unstoppable advance of the ancient human machines. Officers around him were whispering, "Are we doing this? Are humans controlling those ships? Is this revenge? Is this justice?" Rion didn't answer. He was staring at the heartbeat file on his personal screen. Elior's heartbeat. Alive. Somewhere. Rion whispered, "Where are you, kid?" The Empire's leaders realized the truth. On the Empire's capital world, the High Council gathered in a panic. Their faces were pale, their hands were shaking. A hologram of the burning planets floated above the table. One council member shouted, "We must negotiate with the humans!" Another screamed, "Negotiate with who? They're slaves!" A third whispered, "Not anymore." The room fell silent. A scientist entered, holding a tablet with trembling hands. "We found something in our old records." He placed the tablet on the table. A symbol appeared, a burning flame. The same symbol Rion saw, the same symbol Elior carried in his DNA. The scientist whispered, "This is an ancient human warning. It says, if a key holder dies unjustly, the last flame fleet will awaken." The council stared at him. "And?" the leader asked. The scientist swallowed. "And we killed the key holder." Silence. Then the leader whispered the words everyone feared. "We have doomed ourselves."
The machines reach the second planet. The second galactic soldier planet was a mining world. Millions lived there, soldiers, workers, families. They looked up at the sky as the ancient human ships arrived. The sky turned blue, then white, then completely silent. A single beam of light shot down from the largest ship. It touched the planet's surface, and everything turned to dust. No explosion, no fire, just silence. The planet vanished, like it had never existed. The galaxy watched in horror, but the machines did not stop. They moved to the next planet, and the next, and the next. Rion makes a terrifying discovery. Rion opened the heartbeat file again. He zoomed in on the signal. It was faint but steady, alive, real. But something was strange. The heartbeat was not coming from a human colony. It was coming from deep space, from a location with no planets, no stations, no ships. Just darkness. Rion frowned. What is a boy doing out there? He ran a scan.
The result made his blood run cold. The heartbeat was coming from inside one of the ancient human ships. Elior was not just alive. He was inside the last flame fleet. Rian whispered, "Elior, are you controlling them?" But he didn't know the answer. Not yet. The Empire sends a desperate message. A transmission suddenly appeared on every human colony. A galactic soldier general appeared on the screen, sweating, shaking, terrified. "Humans, listen to me," he said. We made a mistake. We executed the boy. We did not know what he was. We did not know what would happen." He leaned closer. "Please, stop the machines. We will free your people. We will give you your planets back. Just stop this." The screen flickered. The general whispered, "We are begging you." The transmission ended. The humans on the colony looked at Rian. "Commander, what do we do?" Rian stared at the burning planets on the screen. He whispered, "We don't control this." Rian received another message. This one was not from the Empire, not from the ancient systems, not from any human. It was from Elior. A single line of text. "Commander, don't try to stop them." Rian's heart froze. He typed back, "Elior, where are you?" A reply came instantly. "I am with them." Rian whispered, "Are you controlling the fleet?" The final message appeared. "No, they are protecting me, and they are not done yet." Rian stared at the screen, unable to breathe. The boy who died on live broadcast, the boy who smiled before death, the boy who awakened the ancient machines was now traveling with them, and the galaxy had no idea what was coming next.
The Galactic Empire had never known fear, not in thousands of years, not in any war, not against any species. But now, fear was everywhere. Their planets were burning, their fleets were falling apart, their leaders were begging for mercy, and the ancient human machines, the last flame fleet, were still moving, silent, cold, unstoppable. The Empire prepares its biggest counterattack. On the Empire's largest military station, the atmosphere was chaos. Soldiers ran through the halls. Engineers shouted over alarms. Generals argued with each other, their voices shaking. A giant hologram of the galaxy floated in the center of the command room. Red dots marked the destroyed planets. Blue dots marked the ancient human fleet. The blue dots were spreading fast. General Vark, the highest-ranking officer, slammed his fist on the table. "We cannot let them reach the core worlds. Deploy everything we have." A younger officer hesitated. "Sir, everything?" "Everything!" Vark shouted. "Every ship, every weapon, every soldier. If we fall here, the Empire dies." The officer nodded and ran. Moments later, thousands of warships launched from the station, the largest fleet the Empire had ever assembled. A wall of metal and fire. A wall meant to stop the ancient human machines. But the machines were not afraid. They did not slow down. They did not change direction. They simply kept moving. Ryan watches the Empire's last stand.
On the human colony, Commander Ryan stood in front of a giant screen showing the Empire's fleet forming a massive defensive line. Officers around him whispered, "They're sending everything. They're desperate. They know they can't win." Ryan didn't speak. He was staring at the heartbeat signal on his personal device, Elior's heartbeat. Still alive, still steady, still coming from inside the ancient fleet. Ryan whispered, "Kid, what are you doing?" The Empire opens fire. In deep space, the Empire's fleet waited in formation. Thousands of ships, millions of soldiers, weapons charged, engines burning bright. General Vark stood on the bridge of the flagship, staring at the approaching blue lights. He fired. The order echoed across the fleet. A storm of missiles, lasers, plasma beams, and energy waves shot forward. The space between the two forces lit up like a second sun. The ancient human ships were hit by everything the Empire had, but nothing happened. The weapons passed through them again, like the ships were not fully in this reality. The Empire's soldiers stared in horror. "What are these things? Why can't we hit them? This is impossible!" General Vark clenched his jaw. "Then we attack at close range." The Empire charges. The Empire's ships accelerated, engines roaring. They closed the distance fast, forming tight attack formations. The ancient ships did not move. They simply waited. When the Empire's fleet reached them, the ancient ships activated. Blue light exploded across their surfaces. Their edges glowed brighter, their shapes shifted slightly, like they were waking up even more. Then they moved. Not like ships, like blades. They sliced through the Empire's fleet with impossible speed. One ancient ship cut through 10 enemy ships in a single pass. Another moved so fast it left a trail of blue fire. The Empire ships exploded one after another. General Vark watched his fleet fall apart. "No! No! No!" His voice cracked. "This cannot be happening."
Inside the ancient ship, Elior's awakening. Far away from the battle, inside one of the ancient human ships, Elior stood in a glowing chamber. Blue lights surrounded him. Holograms floated in the air, showing the galaxy, the fleet, and the burning planets. He looked calm. Too calm. A soft voice echoed around him. Not human, not machine. Something in between. Keyholder detected. Protection protocol active. Elior whispered, "I didn't want this." The voice replied, "You were harmed. The galaxy must answer." Elior closed his eyes. "I'm not dead," he said. "Why are you still fighting?" The voice paused. "Because the threat remains." Elior opened his eyes. "Then take me to the commander." The Empire's last weapon. Back in the battle, the Empire was losing fast. Their ships were burning, their formations were broken, their soldiers were screaming. General Vark activated a secret panel on his command chair. A hidden weapon. A weapon forbidden by the Empire's own laws. A weapon meant to destroy stars. He whispered, "If we die, they die with us." He pressed the button. A massive sphere of red energy formed around the flagship. It grew larger and larger, pulling in power from nearby ships. The space around it twisted and cracked. The Empire's officers screamed, "Sir, that weapon will destroy us too! Sir, stop!
"Sir, this is suicide!" Vark didn't listen. He stared at the ancient ships. "If humans want war, then we will give them war." The red sphere exploded outward. A wave of destructive energy rushed toward the ancient fleet. The ancient fleet responded. Inside the ancient ship, Ilior felt the shock. He whispered, "They're using a starbreaker." The voice replied, "Threat level extreme, activating full defense." The ancient ships glowed brighter than ever before. Their blue lines turned white. Their shapes shifted again, becoming sharper, faster, more alive. Then they released their own energy. A wave of blue light collided with the Empire's red wave. The two forces met in the middle of space. The galaxy shook. Stars flickered. Planets trembled. The collision created a shockwave so powerful it could be seen from light years away. When the light faded, the Empire's weapon was gone. The flagship was gone. General Vark was gone. And the ancient human fleet was still there, untouched, silent, watching. Ryan receives a new message. On the human colony, Ryan's device beeped. A new message. From Ilior. "Commander, I'm coming to you." Ryan's heart stopped. He typed quickly, "Ilior, are you safe?" A reply came instantly. "Yes, but the fleet is not done." Ryan frowned. "What do you mean?" Another message appeared. "They are moving to the core worlds." Ryan whispered, "Why?" Ilior's final message arrived. "Because the Empire didn't just kill me. They killed thousands of children, and the fleet remembers everything." Ryan stared at the screen, unable to breathe. The ancient human machines were not just avenging Ilior. They were avenging every human child the Empire had ever harmed, and they were heading straight for the heart of the Empire.
The ancient human fleet moved like a storm through space, silent, bright, unstoppable. Every planet owned by the Galactic Empire trembled as the blue lights approached. Every soldier felt the same fear. Every leader felt the same regret. But none of them knew the truth. Not yet. Only two people in the galaxy understood what was really happening. Commander Ryan and the boy they thought they killed, Ilior. Ilior arrives. On the human colony, alarms suddenly stopped. The lights flickered. The ground shook softly, like something massive was passing overhead. People ran outside. They looked up. A giant shadow covered the sky, one of the ancient human ships. It hovered silently above the colony, glowing with soft blue light. It did not aim weapons. It did not threaten. It simply waited. A beam of light shot down from the ship, touching the ground gently. And a small figure stepped out. Ilior. Alive. Breathing. Standing. The crowd gasped. Some cried. Some fell to their knees. Some whispered his name like a prayer. Commander Ryan pushed through the crowd, his heart racing. "Ilior." The boy turned. His eyes were different now, deeper, older, filled with something ancient. "Hello, Commander," he said softly. Ryan grabbed his shoulders. "You are alive. How? How did you survive?" Ilior looked up at the massive ship above them. "They saved me." The truth began. Ryan led Ilior inside the command building. Officers stared at the boy with fear and awe. Some whispered, Is he human? Others whispered, is he a god? Inside Ryan's office, Elior sat quietly while Ryan paced back and forth. Elior, I saw you die. Everyone saw it. The broadcast. It was real. I did die. Ryan froze. Elior continued. But the last flame fleet, they don't let a keyholder stay dead. Ryan sat down slowly. Explain it to me. All of it. Elior took a deep breath, and the truth began. The origin of the last flame. Thousands of years ago, humans were not weak. They were the strongest species in the galaxy. They built machines that could reshape stars. They created weapons that could erase planets without fire. Ryan nodded. He had heard the legends. But humans had one rule, a rule older than any empire. He looked directly into Ryan's eyes. No one harms a human child. Ryan felt a chill. Elior continued. The ancient humans knew the galaxy was dangerous. They knew enemies would come, so they created the last flame fleet, machines that would sleep until the rule was broken. Ryan whispered, until a child was harmed. Elior nodded. When the galactic soldiers executed me, the fleet woke up. Ryan leaned back, overwhelmed. But why you? Why were you the keyholder? Elior looked down at his hands. My DNA. It carries the activation code. I was born with it. I didn't choose it. Ryan felt a heavy sadness. You were just a boy. Elior smiled softly. I still am.
The Empire's hidden crimes. Ryan asked, why are the machines still attacking? You're alive now. Elior's expression darkened. Because the Empire didn't just kill me. He stood up and walked to the window. Outside, the ancient ship hovered silently, like a guardian. They killed thousands of human children over the years. Quietly, secretly. They erased entire villages. They took children for experiments. They hid the evidence. Ryan felt sick. How do you know this? Elior closed his eyes. The fleet showed me. Ryan's voice cracked. Showed you? Elior nodded. When they revived me, they connected me to their memory. I saw everything, every scream, every cry, every child they took, every life they ended. Tears filled Ryan's eyes. Elior, I'm so sorry. The boy shook his head. It's not your fault. You tried to protect me. But the Empire, they thought humans were weak. They thought no one would ever know. But the fleet remembers everything. The machine's true purpose. Ryan whispered, so the fleet is destroying the Empire because of what they did? Elior shook his head. No, they are doing something else. Ryan frowned. What? Elior walked closer, his voice soft but heavy. They are cleansing the galaxy. Ryan's heart stopped. Cleansing? Elior nodded. Yes, the ancient humans believed that any species who harmed human children was too dangerous to exist, so the fleet was programmed to remove them. Ryan whispered, remove? As in, destroy? Elior looked away. Yes. Ryan stood up, shaking. Elior, that's genocide. Elior's voice cracked. I know. Ryan grabbed his shoulders. You have to stop them. Elior looked up with tears in his eyes. I can't. Ryan froze. Elior continued.
I am the key holder, not the controller. I can speak to them, but I cannot command them. They follow ancient laws, not me. Ryan whispered, Then what did they want? Ilior answered with a trembling voice, They want justice. The Empire's final secret. Ilior sat down again, exhausted. There's something else, he said. Something the Empire hid even from their own people. Rian leaned forward. Ilior whispered, The Empire didn't just kill human children. They used them. Rian's eyes widened. Used them? For what? Ilior's voice broke. For experiments. For energy. For weapons. They tried to copy human DNA. They tried to create their own key holder. Rand felt rage burning inside him. Monsters. Ilior nodded. The fleet found the records. They showed me everything. The Empire has been hurting humans for centuries, and now the fleet is ending them. Rian whispered, How many planets are left? Ilior looked at the hologram on the wall. Not many.
The emotional breaking point. Ryan sat beside Elior. You're just a child, he said softly. You shouldn't carry this. Elior wiped his eyes. I don't want to. I didn't ask for this. I didn't want anyone to die. Ryan put a hand on his shoulder. You're not alone. Elior looked up at him. Commander, do you think humans are safe now? Ryan hesitated. Then he said the truth. I don't know. Elior nodded slowly. The fleet will not stop until the Empire is gone. They will burn every world that ever harmed us. Ryan whispered. And after that? Elior looked out the window at the glowing ship. I don't know, he said, but I think they will come for me. Ryan's heart dropped. Why? Ilior's voice was barely a whisper. Because once their mission is complete, the key holder is no longer needed. Ryan grabbed him. No, I won't let that happen. Ilior smiled sadly. You can't stop them, Commander. No one can. A loud alarm suddenly echoed through the colony. Ryan and Elior ran outside. The sky was filled with blue light. The entire ancient fleet had arrived. Hundreds of ships, thousands, covering the sky like a second ocean. A beam of light shot down in front of Elior. The same voice echoed from the sky. Key holder, prepare for final protocol. Elior whispered. It's time. Ryan grabbed him. Elior, what does that mean? The boy looked at him with tears in his eyes. It means the fleet is coming to take me. Ryan shook his head. No, I won't let them. Elior stepped back. Commander, thank you for everything. The light grew brighter. The ground shook. The fleet waited. Elior whispered, This is not the end, but the next part will change everything. And the light swallowed him.
The sky above the human colony was no longer a sky. It was a sea of blue fire. Hundreds of ancient human ships hovered silently, covering the world in a soft glow. Their presence felt heavy, like the air itself was holding its breath. And in the center of the colony, Commander Ryan stood alone. Elior was gone, taken by the beam of light. The ground where he stood still glowed faintly. Ryan whispered, Come back, kid. But the sky did not answer. Inside the ancient fleet. Elior floated inside the beam as it carried him upward. His body felt weightless, his mind felt heavy. The light wrapped around him like warm water. When he opened his eyes, he was inside a massive chamber. Blue walls, floating holograms, a floor made of glowing lines. The same voice echoed around him. Keyholder, final protocol begins. Elior swallowed. What is the final protocol? The voice replied. The cleansing of the empire and the judgment of the keyholder. Elior's heart tightened. Judgment? Of me? Yes. The Empire's last worlds. Far across the galaxy, the Empire's core worlds were preparing for the end. Cities were in chaos, ships were fleeing, leaders were screaming orders that no one followed. On the capital planet, the sky turned blue as the ancient fleet arrived. People looked up in terror. The Empire's last general stood on a balcony, watching the glowing ships descend. He whispered, "We should never have touched the humans." The ancient ships formed a circle around the planet. A giant sphere of blue light formed above them. The general fell to his knees. "No, no, please!" The sphere dropped. The planet vanished in silence. No fire, no explosion, just gone. The galaxy shook. Ryan faces the truth. Back on the human colony, Ryan watched the destruction on the hologram screen. His hands were shaking. His heart felt like it was breaking. An officer whispered, "Commander, the Empire's capital is gone." Ryan didn't answer. Another officer said, "Sir, the fleet is moving again." Ryan looked up. "Where?" The officer swallowed. "Here." Ryan froze. The ancient fleet was turning toward the human colony, toward Elior's home, toward the last place he stood. Ryan whispered, "Why? Why are they coming here?"
Inside the fleet, Elior's trial. Elior stood in the center of the glowing chamber. The walls shifted, forming a circle of light around him. The voice spoke again. "Keyholder, you were harmed. You were revived. Now we must judge your heart." Elior whispered, "Judge me for what?" "For mercy." Elior's eyes widened. "Mercy? Why?" "Because the ancient law demands total cleansing, but your heart does not." Elior stepped back. "I don't want anyone else to die." The voice replied, "This is why you must be judged." The chamber darkened. Holograms appeared around him, images of every Empire planet destroyed, every ship cut apart, every soldier who died. Elior covered his ears. "Stop! Please stop!" The voice continued. "You carry the pain of the children they harmed, but you also carry mercy. This is a conflict." Elior fell to his knees. "What do you want from me?" "Your decision." The final choice. The chamber brightened. A new hologram appeared, the human colony. Ryan, the officers, the people. The voice said, "If you choose mercy, the fleet will stop, but you will die." Elior's breath caught. "And if I choose vengeance?" "The fleet will burn the last Empire worlds, and you will live." Elior stared at the hologram of Ryan, the man who protected him, the man who believed in him, the man who treated him like a son. Elior whispered, "Why do I have to die?" The voice replied, "Because the keyholder cannot exist without the mission. If the mission ends, the keyholder must end too." Elior closed his eyes. Tears fell. The fleet arrives at the colony. Outside, the sky turned brighter. The ancient ships formed a circle above the colony, the same formation they used before destroying planets. People screamed, children cried, officers ran for cover. Ryan stood alone in the open field, staring up at the glowing ships. He whispered, "Elior, don't do this." A beam of light shot down. Ryan didn't move. He whispered again, "Please, don't let this be the end."
Elior makes his decision.
Inside the chamber, Elior stood up slowly. His voice was soft but steady. "I choose mercy." The chamber froze. The voice replied, "Then you choose death." Elior nodded. "Yes." The voice paused. "Why?" Elior looked at the hologram of the colony. "Because humans deserve peace. Because the Empire is gone. Because I don't want more blood. Because Commander Ryan, he taught me that life matters." The chamber glowed brighter. "Your decision is accepted." Elior whispered, "Goodbye." The light falls. On the colony, the beam of light grew stronger. Ryan stared into it, tears in his eyes. He whispered, "Elior, please." The light suddenly changed color, from blue to white. The ancient ships shifted formation. The sky trembled. Then the light vanished. The ships powered down. The sky went dark. Silence. Ryan looked around, confused. What happened?" A soft sound came from behind him. He turned. Elior was lying on the ground, still, silent, not breathing. Ryan ran to him and lifted him in his arms. "Elior! Elior, wake up!" But the boy didn't move. Ryan held him close, tears falling. "You saved us. You saved everyone." The ancient ships slowly drifted away, leaving the colony untouched. Their mission was over. Their keyholder was gone. The galaxy after the fire. In the weeks that followed, the galaxy changed. The Empire was gone. Its planets were silent. Its armies were dust. Humans were free. For the first time in centuries, they stood without chains. But they also mourned. They mourned the boy who saved them. Elior was buried on the colony hill, under a tree that overlooked the stars. People visited every day. Children left flowers, soldiers left medals, parents left notes. Ryan visited every night. He sat beside the grave and whispered stories. Stories of hope, stories of peace, stories of the boy who changed the galaxy. One night, as Ryan sat beside the grave, the sky flickered. A single ancient ship appeared far in the distance. It did not approach, it did not threaten, it simply hovered, watching. A soft blue light blinked twice. A signal, a message. Ryan whispered, "I know. I'll take care of them. I'll protect them, just like he did." The ship blinked once more, then vanished into the stars. Ryan looked at the grave. "Goodbye, Elior," he whispered. "You were the last flame, and you saved us all." The wind blew softly, the stars shined brighter, and the galaxy finally was at peace.